still on the River State political crisis. We have a guest who's joining us right now to discuss the River State crisis. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure having you join us. What do you think about the whole, crisis in the River State politics? And do you think that that actually warrants a state of emergency?
Well, I would say that I've been watching the event unfold with rapt attention, and it will appear that this is a very last decision taken by Mr. President is a direct affront on our constitutional democracy. And I do not think the position in River State was precipitate enough to invoke the provisions of Section 305. So much so that an unelected retired military governor will not be imposed or will not be put in place to replace an elected governor. Be that as it may, the powers, are his. They can really exercise those powers, but it must be exercised judiciously. Don't forget that there are conditions, if you look at even the same Section 305, that you must satisfy before you invoke this very grievous and precipitated section. There must be an imminent threat of war or fear to overrun the country. There must be a danger to public safety and all that. I do not know how a single explosion of a pipeline somewhere in far-flung area would precipitate this. To appear as if this has been brewing, and the talks were resolved on 2 points, either impeachment or declaration of a state of emergency, or as Shakespeare would put it, they were resolved on 2 points. If one face, the other holds, but if both face, your gas can fall, unquote. So whatever happens there, I am really taken aback, and I am not happy, because if you follow the trajectory of declaration of this type of precipitate thing, you discover that it's not a very good wind. It's an evil wind that does not augur well for any country. If you start from 62 or even 61 and towards 62, you discover that when we just had our independence in 60, the students were miffed about the Anglo-Nigerian Defense Pact, in which the British would have been managing our defense. They went to Ribadu Road, and they lambasted and lampooned the government as it were, of feudalistic Balewa and opportunistic Zikiwe. And Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, being a listening prime minister, went back to his drawing board, and he repealed quietly that law. But in 62, he was also very vigorous in declaring a state of emergency sequel to the inconclusive election they had in Western Nigeria. Don't forget that this singular act led to Operation Wet Year, misgovernance, because they wanted to actually empower Akintola, and it snowballed into an avoidable civil war that lasted between 1967 and 1970, 2.5 years, where we lost a lot of things, and that would have been an opportunity for the country to develop or to snowball into nationhood. That was the beginning of primordial loyalties and all that. So I hope and I pray that it does not snowball into that kind of crisis, and we want the president to take a second look at this declaration, which, like I've told you, is undemocratic, and it's also a challenge to the National Assembly. This will be their first test to confirm or deny the proposition that they are really lame duck, and if I want them, because the Constitution is very clear that before you can even announce a replacement, you shall pass through the conditions. If the National Assembly is not in session, you need 10 days to recongregate and assent to that order. If they're in session, within 2 days, it has not even gotten to the second day. Today is the second day. We already have a replacement. Be like it was planned, and it's unfortunate that the people of River State, they will be inheriting this type of ingenious thing. And don't forget too that if you read the president's speech very well, he said that the administrator will be taking a directive from Abuja, from the National Executive Council. And Wike, who is you know, a participant in this crisis is a member of the National Executive Council. So it will be like it's handing over the crisis-ridden River State to Wike on the other hand, which is not neutral, it's not democratic, and you know, we condemn it wholeheartedly.
All right, so I mean, there have been speculations, and so many people are already saying that there seems to be a bias because, again, why would a suspension be meted on the governor of a state and not the minister of the Federal Capital Territory? A lot of questions, and that has, you know, birthed the question, who is the president listening to? But my major concern is we know that the National Assembly is expected to approve the state of emergency, and in no time we'll be hearing, you know, we'll be listening in on their seating. What are your expectations, bearing in mind all of these speculations, and at the end of the day, what is in favor of the people of Rivers State?
Well, I think I've said this, and indeed I want to repeat it the umpteenth time, that this is the first test of the potency of the National Assembly. I want the National Assembly led by the Speaker of the House of Rep and the Senate President to really hold a very, very transparent section and ensure that this Section 305, as invoked by the President, suffers the violent hammer of dismissal. Let them throw it out of the window. Then we are going to hail the 10th Assembly as being very potent and virile to take us to the next level. If they don't do this, then they have confirmed our fears that they are lame dog and they are dancing to the tune of the President, and that would be very regrettable.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Abubakar Yesufu, the senior lawyer and president of the League of Patriotic Lawyers. Thank you for joining us to discuss this.
Thank you. Thank you.
And like you said, we'll see how that turns out.